Hey guys, so fun video. Um, I did a video a few videos ago, and it was me watching the Family Guy episode, not the episode, but the clip of Maud and the extended intro, and Peter getting really pissed off. Before that, I watched the original, the actual show Maud theme song, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of go back to like TGIF and um, just kind of watch the opening theme songs, and just kind of, reminisce and talk about these shows. And I'd really like a good discussion to start happening because, I mean, these were my childhood, obviously. So now this one, dinosaurs. Basically, you take humans out of the equation, you add dinosaurs in their position, and you get a great show. So basically, they're dinosaurs in that era, but they're doing normal human things. They have jobs and they have families and this and that. um, the costumes themselves, I believe a lot of that stuff was done by Jim Henson, who is like the master of like puppeteering and stuff like that. you know um, but dinosaurs, I remember I was so angry because I was out, I believe, at the boardwalk when the final episode aired, and my mom basically told me how basically like depressing it was, and I was so mad that I never got to see it. And then years later, thanks to the internet, I got to see it. But yes, the end is pretty freaking depressing. So, but it's a cool, fun show. Really lighthearted for the most part. They talk about normal things like pollution, things that we would talk about today. So it was pretty ahead of its head for its time. But you'll see. So this is dinosaurs.
Honey, I'm home.
I guess I could have found a better version that's actually synced up. Yeah, like look how amazing those are. All right, so that was the Sinclair family. That's Earl, not that. That is Earl Sinclair, the patriarch of the family. He is the one out there working. That's Grandma. You got the typical sister, the really prissy sister, the jock brother or son in this case. Son, daughter. The baby, who is kind of like Stewie in a way. Um, and that was the gag, that they would always smack him and be like, not the mama, not the mama, and it was like the running gag. But yeah, just like this. Look how amazing that is. I mean, I always loved when he came on because he was, he had a really deep, gruff voice, and he just looked amazing. I mean, I knew that it was just people in suits. Even as a kid, I know that the fucking dinosaurs are not walking, talking, but they make it look so nice, look so detailed and so realistic. It was amazing. I loved the show. Um, it's like Flintstones mixed with normal like 80s sitcom, 90s sitcom. You had your dinosaurs coming in, and so it was pretty cool. Um, like I said, I missed out on the final episode, and I was really, really, really upset about that. So next we have one of my favorites, and I think a lot of the kids when we were younger, we probably all had a crush on Melissa Joan Hart. If not from Sabrina, it was from Clarissa Explains It All, where she started. In my view, my opinion, should have been called Clarissa Explains Nothing, because I really didn't get any life valuable lessons out of that show. I just thought I basically learned it was okay to have a pet alligator crocodile like she had, and have to have friends coming through your window to see you. And but it really didn't. But this is Sabrina. That's Salem. So, we have, as soon as we start, we get my favorite character, Salem. Now, Salem is not actually a cat, he's actually a wizard who, in this, the TV show version, he was a wizard who tried to kind of take over the world, so, like the Wizard Council, the head honchos, decided to imprison him in this cat form for, I think it was like 100 years. But he can talk and everything, and his voice actor, if you remember Angry Beavers, he's the voice of Norbert. Really cool character. You have some parts where it's an actual cat, and then another where it's an animatronic. And it's a really cool show. You know, it's Sabrina. She's a witch. She lives with her aunts Hilda and Zelda. Hilda is more of the stern, or not Hilda. Zelda's the stern one. She's always kind of looking out what's best for you, but in more of a pushier way. Hilda is more of the laid back one. It's like, oh, come on, they didn't mean it. There's no reason to punish her and this and that. If you watch Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix, it's the same way, except one has a British accent and one doesn't, which I kind of find funny. Although the woman who plays Zelda, I think, is British, or she's Irish or Scottish or something. She's got some kind of actual accent. But yeah, you know, Harvey, the boyfriend. What's it? Libby is the jerk person. Such great details here. But yeah, I love Salem, and Salem now, he doesn't talk. Salem in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the Netflix version, he's not a person. He's a kind of like a demon imp, just something that takes the form of a cat, and it can take the form of anything, and they're called familiars. They could be lizards, they could be rats, they could be dogs, they could be cats. So Sabrina called out, did a ritual to summon a goblin, ghoul, whatever, and this one appeared to her and wanted to be her companion, her familiar, and chose to take the form of Salem. He doesn't talk, but they're linked telepathically. So if Salem talks, like, she can understand what he's saying, because they're linked telepathically, because that's her familiar, so she's naturally able to understand him. It was a great show. I mean, I've always been a person for magic. All right, step by step. Jesus Christ! Now we're getting into really older stuff. Sorry. Step by step. I always love the intros because they always pan in. They're like, I think we remember the most from Full House. Oh, shucks. That's hilarious, though. Mm-hmm. Let's drink that daughter ball. Well, hi there. Wow. Whoa! All right, step by step, it's your typical family sitcom. You know, you got the kids who like getting in trouble sometimes, um, adult issues that come up sometimes. It's your run. I mean, it's a good show, but it's your run of the mill, in my opinion. You know, it was your wholesome, like Seventh Heaven, Full House, stuff like that. So nothing too much to go into that one. Now, here we go. Family Matters. This was a good show. This was one of those shows, like people were saying about blacks now and how they're not represented. There were so many, so we got Family Matters, we had The Cosby Show, we had Martin, we had, did I say Fresh Prince? What did I not say? So Family Matters, Martin, Fresh Prince, Sister, and there's plenty of others that were just mainly blacks. And like this show, they live in not the best of neighborhoods, but they get by. Obviously, you know, the father's a cop, and they do what they should. They try to raise their children to the best of their ability. Sorry, I've been awake for 26 hours. Best of their ability to prepare them for the real world, so that when they go out as adults, that they become productive members of society and uphold their values of love and honesty and caring for one another. And it was just a really, really good show. And this is where you got Steve Urkel, JALEEL White, who was also the voice of Sonic in the cartoon, in both the AM version, AM Sonic, and Sonic and Tails. JALEEL White, he liked chili dogs. But great show. I would recommend going back and watching it. It really is an amazing show. And just the theme song for it. Mr. Winslow. Good news on the newspaper page. It's like one of those songs you don't forget. Oh yeah, we all had a crush on her too. JALEEL White. He was so tiny and nerdy. I mean, look how amazing that is. That song is amazing. So here we go. Like I said, we have Carl Winslow. He's, of course, like I said, just like with dinosaurs, he's a big guy, but he's a cop, police officer, and I think it was in Chicago, but he's the patriarch of the family. He's the one going out there risking his life because, like I said, he's a cop. He has his wife, his kids. Steve Urkel is the next door neighbor who comes in all the time unannounced, and you know, the catchphrase "Did I do that?" Came from here, because he would cause some crazy antics and break something or lose something, or somehow make something fall on Carl's head, and that's when he like, "Did I do that?" But it was an amazing show. And then as the seasons progressed, they got to this point where they just, like, for some reason they because Steve is like this, essentially pretty much a genius. He's just really weird. He makes a machine where when he steps into it, he turns it on, and when he steps out, he's like this cooler version of himself called Stefan. And Laura is the one, his Carl's daughter, who Steve is he's in love with her, and she doesn't really like him because he's weird, he's creepy, he's just a nerd. But when he steps out as Stefan, that's when she's actually attracted to him, because she can see past all the weirdness and see what Steve can actually be like. And then they form a relationship. Steve also had another girlfriend. I forget the actress's name, but she died, unfortunately. But everyone who knew her says she was like the sweetest person. They were really, really sad that that happened, because she was young. But that was also a love interest for Steve. And despite the fact that Steve always had like problems, like Carl hated when he would come over unannounced and do all this, but he genuinely did care about Steve, and he really didn't want him to be hurt. So it was one of those things that show that even though you have your differences, you do form a bond with those around you, even if you are different. Because Steve is completely different from this family, but they have a bond that no matter how annoying he is, they're never going to turn him down. They're never going to push him away. They're never going to say, we don't like you anymore, because they genuinely do care about him. And I thought that message of union and family and togetherness was a really great message. I mean, a lot of shows have it, but the show does it really well. So like I said, if you have a chance to watch it, I definitely recommend going to watch it. It is an amazing show. It definitely still holds up now. Alright, so I'm sure you guys knew this one was coming. Went to the Golden Gate Bridge. It's really not amazing. John Stamos. I'm sorry, the show was so lame, but it was great at the same time. Oh yeah, I'm Becky. When we went to San Francisco all the time. I always wanted to ride a trolley. We never had a chance though. Sorry about that. My door was opening up, so. Uncle Jesse. Hey, happy days. Okay, so I don't think I really have to go into Full House. Everyone has seen it. You have, the Tanners. You have Uncle Jesse. You have, Uncle Joey. You have Aunt Becky. I think we all had a crush on Aunt Becky too. I don't think I really liked the girls as much. Like Stephanie and DJ. I was into those older chicks, and I loved Aunt Becky. She was just But so you have Danny Tanner, the clean freak, who is a single dad. His wife died, so he's living in his house in San Francisco trying to raise his 3 kids. You have Jesse, who is like the punk, the rebel, the rock star, Elvis impersonator. You have Joey, who is the comedian, with like Mr. Woodchuck. Is it made of wood? Then you got the kids. You have Stephanie, Michelle, and DJ. Aunt Becky, of course. And same thing. It's like I said, it's your typical family sitcom. Crazy stuff happens. They get in all crazy predicaments, like, oh God, we may not make it to the wedding in time. Or, oh no, we're stuck in the airport. But like they go into deeper topics, like episode where Stephanie has a friend who's being abused by his dad, and stuff like that. So, like I said, typical, family sitcom, just more well known than, say, Step by Step or, one of those. Like I said, it's a really, like, the ending. This is how it would be. The ending comes up. There's a lesson that needs to be learned, and they have to learn it by the end of the episode. They sit down, some sappy music plays. They talk about the lesson that they learned while we either teary-eyed or whatever. They hug. They say a stupid joke, and then the episode ends. And if you don't believe me, go watch a few episodes. You'll see exactly that's how it is. Sappy music, ending like the meaning of the whole episode, a stupid joke, and then the show ends. But now the next one wasn't exactly 90s, but this is another show that I'm sure everyone's at least heard this theme song once. So
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got.
It's so memorable. God, I love this song.
Sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are.
No, don't do this to me right now. It's like you're not singing.
Knows your name.
John Ratzenberger.
You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
I never liked that guy. Like, seriously, I don't know what it was. Like, of everyone they've shown, I cannot stand this guy. I don't know why. I think he's just got this smug face. I want to punch him. He's like, snooty, scraw. I don't know why. Don't ask. I don't know. But I've never liked him. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it is his face, because he does have like this very, But I do like the way everyone's dressed. I do like that old style way of dressing. Back when people would cover up and not go out in public with their fucking tits and ass hanging out, and guys would walk around with their pants all the way up and not have their fucking boxers showing because their pants are hanging down to their fucking ankles. Simpler times. So yeah, Cheers. Ted Danson, John Ratzenberger, Woody Harrelson. It takes place in a bar for the most part, and the troubles of people. I mean, the theme song pretty much says it all. So they're a bunch of friends who kind of gather in this bar all day, and same thing. They go, daily life and stuff like that. It's kind of like Seinfeld, except Seinfeld is a show about nothing. But yeah, this fucking theme song, man, I love it. Love it. It's great. One of the best theme songs of all time. Change it to Trump. He's like, I'm holding a glass of wine. It's very fine wine. Very fine. Very fine people I'm standing with. I'm sorry. I do love Trump. He's fucking hilarious. You a Trump supporter? No, I'm a president supporter. Like I said before, same thing with Obama. I didn't like the guy, but I accepted him as a president. And not once did I say, oh, I wish harm upon him. It's because I don't like him. Seriously, that's fucking stuff petulant children do. But yeah, let me see if I can think of any more. I mean, I could do Fresh Prince, but everybody knows Fresh Prince. And I'm still trying to find that show I was trying to remember with the Martian. I swear it was on TGIF. There's a movie called My Favorite Martian. It has Christopher Lloyd, and I think that one had Dick Van Dyke. But I swear there was a show on TGIF about a family, and one of the members was a Martian, like an alien. I just can't remember the name, and I've looked it up and I can't seem to find it. So again, if you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know, because it is driving me crazy, because I know the show exists. I just don't remember. Yeah. I don't know. Let me see if there's any more on the side. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. The Fonz. Hey, he never actually did that. For some reason. Growing Pains. Love and marriage, love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Married with Children, great show. But yeah, that's it. If there's any, I'm probably gonna do, this was like 90s stuff, and it was like TGIF and like I think it's like ABC or NBC or something like that. I'm gonna do like early morning cartoons. I'm gonna do Nickelodeon. I'll probably do like early Cartoon Network stuff. Maybe 80s. I was born in 88, so I didn't see. I saw it because some of the stuff played into the 90s. Kind of like Cheers. Cheers wasn't really in the 90s. It was like the late 80s, and it bled into the 90s. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If a blast from the past, if you guys were around to see this. If not, like I said, these shows were great. Especially Family Matters. I highly recommend it. It is a great show. And yeah. That'd be it, I think. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't think there is anything else. Whatever happened to predictability? I'm sorry. No, my brother, when he was younger, he said he had a dream once. So Full House theme song, when they're running up the grassy hill. So he said he had a dream where he was running up the hill with them, and they're all like, and for some reason he just kept going on about it. It was fucking hilarious. Kind of like Different Strokes. Different strokes it takes, different strokes it takes, different strokes to rule the world. Actually, there's one that I think it was the 80s, but we watched it all the time before school. Cincinnati WKRP. Here we go. Yeah, this was another one. The Love Boat. The Love Boat 78. So yeah.
Shout Factory TV, changing the chip. Weather today in the greater Cincinnati area.
Like, I have not seen this since I was like this big.
Solid plastic, so don't settle for imitation.
But the senator, while insisting he was not intoxicated, could not explain his nudity.
Wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
Wow. Cincinnati WKRP. God, I'm old. Fuck.
Town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just maybe think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati.
Alright, so yeah, basically the rundown of that show, you can tell just by Cincinnati WKRP. It takes place in a radio station. The main person is female, and it's basically like the life of this female living with the men in the, they don't, I mean, when in the sense of live, but dealing with the men that she works with and having her own personal issues and this and that. But yeah, it takes mostly in the radio station, which I thought was pretty cool. People always told me I should do radio. They're like, you have a really good voice for radio. But I do the, come on down, you're the next contestant on The Price is Right. But they're like, you should try out radio. I'm like, no. Anyways, 30 minutes, right? Yeah, holy fuck, 30 minutes. Ugh. Anyways, so that'll be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what else you want to see, nostalgia-wise. Let me know if you remember any of these, and if you do, what was your favorite episode, or character, or moment, or something. Anyways, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.